our free metabolic assessment.
Oh yeah, the metabolic assessment thing.
Hey,
Alright, let's
everybody.
watch some Blaha mints. Looks like he's lifting very light weights once again, even though apparently he is trying to train for a 405 bench.
It's Jason Blaha here, and this is the first workout of the new year. And overall, very happy with the workout, not happy with the JM presses. But the workout itself felt like I really got into a good groove with a bunch of lifts, got a tremendous pump. I decided to, with my pressing, because I have done so much pause benching, and I have pointed out there is absolutely merits to pause benching, but part of the problem with touch and go is that people bounce. Okay, and when you bounce, you reduce.
Oh, that is weird. He looks like naked or wearing a diaper or something. So he's doing 5 sets of 10 with 225. So for comparison, my last workout last week, when I was doing light benching, I did 290 for sets of 10. So I don't know what this guy is thinking. Like, he's just never going to bench 405. Why is he using 225? It's just so weird. I thought he was like stronger at this point.
Chest work, okay? But I'm like, I see so many bodybuilders, I've talked to a lot of bodybuilders who are like, well, I still get a tremendous chest pump on benching if I keep everything tight and I don't bounce. So I wanted to mess with it a little bit and just see if I could get a continual just pumping movement.
It makes me blush seeing Blaha's labia folds peeking through his training bottoms when he benches.
Kind of makes me more gag. But thanks for the donation, Adam. Appreciate it.
On it for a full range of motion, and I went ahead and I did all my flat benching and my incline that same way. Michael, let me just do my pull-ups the same way, all right? Just come in and just do it all like a piston up and down. Do my longest ranges of motion. And on the pull-up,
Like, he's just so gross. Like, why doesn't he wear normal fucking clothes?
I'm pretty much just trying to hit my stretch at the bottom, and I'm fully aware a lot of people feel like that isn't the full range of motion. And for a lot of people it wouldn't be. That is as far as I can go. But I'm trying to hit that stretch really hard when I do it. And then some of it I'm trying to just hang a little. And I think what I want to keep working on is doing the dead hangs more and more in between workouts. Right? I think that's really going to be a big part of the key with that is those dead hangs, because they do so much. Right? They do so much. I'm just such a fan for that purpose. And I feel like that'll help also. And I'm not doing the pullovers at the moment, mainly because I have so much other chest and back work that I feel like the pull-ups themselves and then dead hangs will do what I want for now. And I may work them back in. Don't get me wrong, pull-ups are great, pullovers are great. So it's just a matter of looking at how much total volume I'm doing, because what I'm doing with all the pressing and pulling, I've got 20 sets for chest, 20 sets for lats every week right now. There comes a point where it's like, I don't know if I can handle more. And if I do anything more than that, I really want it to be arms, right? I really want it to be my arms. So if you guys will notice on these benching.
Like, my mom, who I think is older than him, she has bigger arms than he does. Like, his arms look so small and skinny, it literally looks like he has some sort of physical problem, like he's got a deformity or he was, like, injured in some weird way, like shot in his arms or something. For the longest time, he keeps saying, oh, I want to build bigger arms, I need that for a big bench, and then he barely does any arm training. When he does do arm training, it's terrible, he just swings the weight. I just don't get it, like, he just doesn't want to get better.
I'm staying super, super tight. I'm keeping my chest under stretch, just trying to get a stretch reflex. I am absolutely not bouncing. We do not bounce. Do not bounce. And it actually gave me a great chest pump. Same thing, just trying to keep my pull-ups the same way now, of just trying to keep tension on those lats, get that stretch at the bottom through what I am capable of doing. And I felt like when I went over to these on the last couple sets, I went to a thumbs over the bar, because I've noticed sometimes that's always felt good on my shoulders in the past when I had some shoulder issues, particularly when I've gone over to the fat bar. And it actually felt really good. So I'm just going to continue with these trends. I feel like still I'm going to need.
Hasn't he been using 225 on bench for like these sets of 10s for a while now? Like, does he not realize he needs to gradually add more weight?
Tons and tons of tricep work. And so I wanted to mess with a couple things. I'm trying to rotate through kind of the exercises that I've got the most out of. I feel like the most tricep pump. And the JM press just wasn't doing it for me today. And I'll talk about that. So I'm going to put an extension back into that slot. I really pretty much need 2 tricep isolations. Right? I think I need that every upper body day. Again, because my arms do need the most work. And by the way, I had someone comment, and I get a lot of positive comments, and it does make me feel better, because I think people need to remember, number one, obviously I have trolls and people just smack talk me 7 days a week. A lot of people are not aware of that, but it's
not available. Thanks for the donation, T. Appreciate it.
nonstop barrage. Like, even the ones who think they might be the only ones doing it, you're not. And plus, I do have a bit of.
Why no racing sims lately? I just haven't been playing much games lately, but we'll probably play some more WRC at some point.
Body dysmorphia. So I actually had someone chime in and said, "Do believe it or not, your arms actually look pretty good. Yes, they could be bigger for your proportions. They actually are looking pretty good. You put in a lot of work." So I would.
Blaha thinks his arms are looking pretty good. Right, dude.
Appreciate it, and I do get some of that from different people. In public, it's different. People think they have big arms in public. It's kind of funny.
Nobody thinks you have big arms.
But they still need to be a high priority. The priority is still at this point for my physique. Because again, notice the training is all bodybuilder training at this point. I don't think that's going to make me a worse powerlifter, by the way. I think bigger and leaner in the long term is a good way to play the long game, even if I want to walk in and have big lifts coming up on 50. But overall, I mean, the benching and the pull-ups today, just doing all of it while trying to get stretch reflexes at the bottom and just kind of continual movement for the most part. Lats were lit up. Everything got hit really good and happy with it. So, Mike, let me try to do this with the incline. A couple of the incline reps, I'm not going to lie, here and there, a rep every now and then.
Is he only doing 135? What? I think he's literally only doing 135.
I did not touch my chest. But I'm like, let me try the same thing here and try to just get that deep stretch. I'm wanting to get the stretch reflex.
Oh my god, he's so weak. Oh, this is hilarious, dude. Like, after Blaha talks so much shit about me, like, not training, being weak and crap, and, like, he can't even fucking lift. What the fuck? And then his only response to me is, I'm 47.
All right.
This isn't a warm-up. This is his working set.
Good. Same thing. I felt my whole upper chest and my delts. They got a great pump. What's interesting to me is that I'm not feeling any tricep on any of the pressing. It's all chest, and then on the incline, I'm definitely feeling some shoulder. Right? I do feel it all in the upper chest there. All right, for rows though, Michael, let me go back over to some wider grip barbell rows. And I stood on the plate because I'm like, and I wanted to see if I needed the belt because I'm bent over. And I kind of realized as I'm doing them,
yeah, wow. That's a lot of nice body English there, Blaha. He's literally just swinging the weight up.
Back off the later sets. Also, I'm trying to assess if that plate helps me or not, because it does give me the potential for a little more range of motion. So I was really trying to assess that a bit. I don't know.
Like, literally the only exercise that I think I've seen him do properly is bench.
I might throw the belt back on anyways, just for the better neural drive. Okay, better neural drive. This is a point of contention that's come up in my different circles, and I've gone back over. I've messed with it. I've done beltless training in the past for years at a time. I've done belted training on everything for years at a time. I don't think there's a negative to melt on
It's
it.
hilarious
Actually,
how weak he is
I felt
now.
like I bent, but I'm only able to do.
Hopeful Donate Tillers, thoughts on the 52 set volume studies? Is there a true limit to max recoverable volume? There is probably some sort of limit to maximum recoverable volume. It's probably hard to get to that point with weight training alone, because the only times you really see overtraining in athletes is with like athletes that are doing a ton of volume and they're doing a combination of strength and conditioning training. So like field athletes, you often see that they get overtraining syndrome. When you're talking about only doing weight training, you're probably going to have a very difficult time inducing overtraining syndrome where somebody can't recover from their training. So the 52 set study, they didn't do 52 sets across every body part for what was the study duration, like 12 weeks. They only did 52 sets for legs. The study only involved leg training. Participants were allowed to do upper body training in their spare time, but they were only training legs, and they only did 52 sets for the last 2 weeks of the study. So they gradually worked up to higher volumes. So the takeaway from that study is you probably can handle very, very high volumes if you do specialization phases where you're only training like one body part. I don't think there's any real way to do 52 sets per body part, for 8 or 12 weeks in duration. You'd probably just burn out pretty fucking quickly. I think Dr. Milo Wolf said he does want to do a study in the future where they do train with very high volumes for the entire body. But that would be very difficult. The amount of fucking training and the amount of time you'd have to spend in the gym would be fucking crazy. But thanks for the donation. Hope that answers your question.
Do that for one set, and then I completely run out of steam.
Dude, this
like,
is embarrassing.
And I know because I've done it for 8 and then tried.
Dude, imagine like filming this and uploading it to YouTube. Just what's going through his head?
To rest 5 minutes and come back, and I can't even do one.
Does he have like an embarrassment fetish?
One rep feels like a max. So I've got to build the work capacity, right? And that will keep building that upper chest up. All right, here's the thing. I've gotten so efficient with these movements.
Yeah, sure. Where is she?
Behind you. Other behind
Oh.
you.
There's Prim Prim. Hey, Prim Prim. Oh my god.
That's a little bit too hard for BMO, I think.
Well, yeah, but Prismo likes to watch. Are you gonna take the thing? Well, I'm streaming. I can't play with a cat and stream at the same time. Oh my god. Prim Prim. Oh my god. My little kitty. Hello, Faye.
It's funny, Prismo is not used to you playing with him and he gets confused from it.
Yeah.
He's like, what the hell?
For making them all torso dominant, I don't feel my arms. I get a lot of people like, I feel rows in my biceps so much, and I get people do that, and I'm like, I don't anymore. I used to at one time. So realistically, all this stuff works in my shoulders, lats, chest. Okay, so I'm gonna have to prioritize arms. And I'm going to continue to do that. 50% of my upper body workouts are going to be arms. They have to be. I've got to do, in addition to my...
Oh yeah, let's watch his fucking arm training. This is gonna be great.
Right? I feel a little more upper back, obviously. So I feel more delt, but I still feel the lats. All right, the JM presses, I'm like, I get so much bench carry from these. Let me mess with them today. Meh. I wasn't
That is not a JM press.
happy with them.
That is a partial close grip bench.
So let's just call, we're not going to rotate them in for now. I'm going to
He's calling this a JM press.
replace the slot with an extension. I'll do skull crushers here and then a second extension. You can either do the dumbbells, and I feel
This is what he's doing for fucking direct tricep work.
like with the dumbbells, I just need
Oh
to
my
use
God.
the smaller diameter plates. I need to use the
Blaha's 47. I think he's been weight training since he was like, what, fucking 20, 25? And he still is this terrible?
5s instead of the 10s so I can get them in tighter. And I felt almost the same with the dumbbell curls today. All right, so for the other curls, I'm like, let's mess around and let's go with what we feel best. I feel like
That's right. Just swing the weight up. Don't control it on the way down.
a slight cheek curl
Just
on a
swing
wide
and
grip
let
of
it
this
drop.
really gives me a tremendous stretch in my biceps at the bottom. The eccentric on this stretches the hell out of my bicep because I'm going all the way to lockout. And, you know, I get people who look at this, and I don't know why people love to criticize my curling. Yet, here's the thing I'm going to point out. Have my arms gotten bigger? Yes. Do I have
His arms have not gotten bigger.
any tendon pain? No. I have no forearm, no tendon
Well, I bet you wouldn't have any tendon pain when you're not even fucking lifting.
pain. And I get a hell of a
Dude,
pump
what is he
on a
doing?
lot of these movements I'm doing.
This is fucking
If my biceps
retarded.
are crazy pumped.
He calls
feel
that a JM
stimulated.
press.
They seem to have made some progress as an advanced lifter. And I have no tendinitis, even doing the higher volumes. I'm going to take that as a good sign. So why the wider grip when I do these? I went ahead and went up on weight on this. Mainly because, again, my dumbbells tend to be a little closer. This stimulates a different ratio of the bicep
Dude.
just slightly. But notice that I bring it all the way
How much weight is that? 25 pounds? So he can't even do 95-pound curls.
to my face.
That's
I am
right. Swing it
taking
up and
the
just let it
elbow
drop.
through its entire range of motion. My forearm is touching my bicep at the top. Have the wrist cocked back so there's no tension loss. I get a really heavy eccentric load and up.
Like, it's so weird, too. Rather than actually curling it up, he does this, like, wide arc where he doesn't even get a full contraction. He just, like, swings it up, barely bends his arm, and just lets it drop, and then he wonders why he can't grow his arms.
Stretch at the bottom. I feel my biceps stretch and it feels really good. Let's disregard all the JM presses today. Yes, it hit my triceps. You know, this is above my neck and my chin, by the way, for those curious where that bar is. It was like, you're just lowering it, but no, it's not above my chest at all. But that's beside the point. Plus, that helped me build, you know, the 365 bench before. I don't know. I'm not feeling as much as I get on some of the extensions. So if we're not feeling it and we're bodybuilding at the moment, I don't care what it does for my bench historically. Okay, let's build some muscle. I need my arms bigger. So while it was fun to do for a one-off,
Holy shit, this
skull
is just
crushers with an easy bar.
the absolute worst form I've ever seen on a bicep curl.
Are absolutely a go-to. Band work versus dumbbell extensions for the secondary tricep movement are kind of where I'm torn, and I feel like I can rotate between them however I feel like, as long as we get that pump and the stretch. But the curls, these felt really good. These actually felt good today. One of the things people always complain about my flaring, but again, look at my normal anatomy. Watch when I've walked up to the bar on the rows and stuff. Okay. See where my arms are? That's kind of my normal position. I can't touch my hands to my sides, by the way.
What? He's saying he can't touch his hands to his side? This is just insane.
Exhaling and squeezing really hard. Just my rib cage and lats. This is what it is.
Yeah, his rib cage and lats gets in the way of it literally being able to reach his hands into his pockets. Sure.
Obviously, I still need to lose body fat and lose skin around the waistline, but it's been slowly improving. And I'm just going to keep working at it. I'm going to keep chipping away at it. We're going to keep working on getting...
He is doing that exercise wrong. Also, he looks bloated and needs to lose some water weight.
Yeah, he is taking steroids, so that's probably why he is a little bloated. He's also just kind of fat, too, so there's that. But thanks for the donation, James.
Leaner. Keep working on building up the arms. Just keep moving forward. So I've only really early in the summer started caring about physique at all. It's really just been a few months. What has it been, 5 months or so? I'm not sure. That's how long I've cared. Now the training is gearing really towards it. The diet is gearing really towards all of it. I feel like my diet is really dialed in at the moment. I've had people come in, I've even had some already, and I'm already looking better than them, have said, well, I used to be a Blaha
This is
hater,
embarrassing.
you actually are starting to look pretty decent. I'm gonna stop hating. Fantastic. Kinder person. I'm not being as much of a dick as I was many years ago.
Looks like his skull crushers might have improved slightly. He's not going as far back, but he should try to bring the bar down to his head, and he's kind of like there's just a lot of really fast, jerky movements. He's not like slowly lowering it, getting a prolonged eccentric, touching the bar down to his head, then, coming up. He's just like swinging it around as quickly as he can.
And by the way, I'm actually fairly nice in person, guys. I'm really not a dick. But that's a certain part of all of our personalities, and I'm able
Oh, this looks good.
You guys want to see funny? I'm funny there every day. I'm here to help people.
He is so lazy.
To teach people, to get clients, to teach people how to train, teach them how to eat. Okay? That's what this channel is.
Yeah, same laziness that he has with the barbell curls.
But those curls felt good. So here's what I did.
At least he's getting more of an actual contraction with the dumbbell curls.
Crushers felt great.
Like he's actually bending his arms in rather than just kind of like swinging the bar up.
I've been really happy with skull crushers lately. The main trick is don't go under 10 reps. And I'm good. As long as they're 10 plus reps, and those were all 12. The curls, I'm like, I really want to mess with going into starting in a pronated and then rotating it up. Again, what are we trying to do? Work every single possible function of the bicep, brachialis, all of that. I'm trying to really, really maximize that. So that's why.
Oh, that is embarrassing. It's funny how he films this and is comfortable with uploading it. Like, if I filmed workouts like this, I'd never upload it. It's just so embarrassing. Yeah, what's funny too is I'm noticing he's not uploading as many client videos. I think he lost a bunch of clients. Yeah, he doesn't have nearly as many clients as he did before. Dude, who would buy this guy's training? Like, you have to be fucking delusional. Just why Blaha? His clients have to be fucking deranged.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I thought I would sit down and do another Gear Talk Q&A for you guys because the last one went pretty good. People appreciated it. And I want to state up front that I do not endorse the use of any illegal substances. I don't endorse the use of any controlled substances outside of the care of a physician. And this video is not intended as a replacement for medical advice. So please check the laws in your own countries, and when in doubt,
Like aromatization.
I don't advocate people doing something like this lightly. Okay, I don't. Like, it's something you should spend quite a bit of time researching and thinking about before you even do that. And by young people, I'm assuming in your 20s. Okay, so context here. I call 23-year-olds children, by the way, because I'm 47. You know, to me, that's a child. So when you say a young person, I'm thinking 25, right? What should said young people look out for, and how would they run PCT? I'm not a big believer in PCT. Now, granted, if you were going to do something, I would consider something like Dr. Michael Scallion's Power PCT. Again, he's an expert in this field. He's devised his own PCT protocols. But just be aware, ultimately, we tell people doing gear, if you don't plan on staying on for a lifetime, just be very aware that you may need TRT sooner as a result of doing it. Keep in mind,
Okay, if Blaha's saying you should stay on gear indefinitely, and that's why he doesn't recommend PCT, because the idea is you just never come off, that's a little stupid. If you get side effects like maladaptive cardiomyopathy, you're going to have to come off completely in order to really get rid of that symptom as quickly as possible. So, like, yeah, I mean, a lot of people will always be on, but if you're always on, you're going to run that higher risk of having things like maladaptive cardiomyopathy, high blood pressure. You could end up with reproductive issues as well. A lot of people who never come off ever and just blast and cruise, they're more likely to have reproductive issues.
everyone will eventually need TRT, meaning you'll have low testosterone, but you are increasing the chances, and there's no guarantee you'll bounce back with PCT. But generally speaking, some combination of HCG and Nolvadex, just tamoxifen citrate, is usually the standard. But again, go do your own digging. Look at Dr. Michael Scallion stuff. I think he's a great resource for that. Of course, this question prompted a whole other conversation with this individual. He says, can high protein diets of 300 grams for a 245-pound man cause more sweating in certain areas of the body, such as my neck, while sleeping, on my pillow, or butt crack? I started to use spray deodorant, but never had this problem during my first cutting cycle. This past summer when it was hot, I did intermittent fasting in summer. Now I'm bulking and using...
Dude, this is so weird. This guy says he's using human growth hormone. Human growth hormone causes night sweats.
A lot of HGH. HGH is taken at night, so maybe that's the cause of the sweating. Test Masteron MVP is what I'm taking. Yes, thermic effect from the protein.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck? This guy's on HGH. Yeah, no shit, you're gonna get night sweats.
Can contribute. I did ask him about, again, his ratios because of possible low E2. Low estrogen can cause sweating. Okay, that can cause night sweats. However, I suspect in his case, probably because he's already sorted that, he did run into issues, says he sorted that. I strongly suspect the high dose of HGH, particularly on a high protein diet, absolutely can be a culprit for night sweats. To some extent, not to the degree that, say, Tren or something will cause it. But yeah, and if you're sweating at night and your sleep is being disrupted, that could interfere with your gains.
Prim. Prim, where's your BMO? Oh my god.
So again, something to think about. Maybe consider reducing the HGH until you adapt to the amount you're using, right? Because he had said he's running like 7 units, and keep in mind that's a lot. That's a lot, and if you're not competing in something that seems, my opinion, a little excessive, but he may be competing. All right, this next one required a little further inquiry, and I'm not putting up the entire conversation. What he meant by androgenic, he just means bigger delts, and all anabolics have the potential to disproportionately develop your delt area, delt upper traps and stuff, purely because you have more androgen receptors there, and all anabolics, doesn't matter whether it's test, primo, nandrolone, whatever, their primary pathway through which they cause muscle growth is through the androgen receptor. So that's really a moot point. They all do that. But he goes, what would be a good stack for someone wanting a drier look with more androgenic body status, but without running into the side effects of too low of estrogen? Ultimately, test plus a DHT. I mean, that's what I tend to recommend. But again, it's very, very individual. If you're a very low aromatizer, you might find even something like nandrolone pairs really well with test at moderate amounts. As long as you almost need blood
He's recommending people take nandrolone? Holy fuck, dude.
work to see where your E2 is. But generally speaking, it's something like a combination of test and just control the estrogen with Primo, Masteron, something like that is a very effective time-proven strategy that tends to be pretty easy on your blood work. But again,
Nandrolone is easy on your blood work. What a fucking whack job.
those ratios really depend upon the person. So in other words, if you're either need to get blood work or if you are watching for signs of low E2, you either need to reduce the Primo or Mast or you need to increase your testosterone until it goes away. Right? And that's going to vary. Like what works for you at a given body fat and training experience, it will change over time. Okay? And I found this to often be true. For example, literally getting leaner will change those ratios for you. Like the less body fat you have, the more those ratios need to increase. To the point where I have known of some cases of guys literally getting low E2 from running too much Primo while even on a gram of testosterone when they're really lean, like literally crashing their estrogen by running too much Primo with 8 gram of test. It does happen. So again, you're going to have to find your own ratios there. If you're looking for a strict rule, you're not going to find it. If anabolics help with protein synthesis, do they help replenish glycogen in the muscles at a faster rate? Good question. This is very nuanced. To some extent, testosterone is even close. In case some of the fake fullness, so sort of combinations. Do you think MK677 is actually comparable to injectable HGH? Not even close. Not even close. I feel like it doesn't.
Yes, that's true. MK677, it's a growth hormone secretagogue, so you're still relying on natural growth hormone production. It'll only increase your growth hormone by 10, 20%, if that. So that's not going to be anything close to using real human growth hormone and having 50 times the normal physiological levels.
Produces profound of benefits, and it has a lot of side effects, particularly the hunger, the bloating, all of that stuff is way more pronounced with MK677. And it used to be because of cost, but look guys, we're pretty much in 2024. Quality generic growth hormone is just not that difficult to source, and it's not that expensive anymore. We're at a point where some of the bigger companies selling MK677 just straight up openly, it's not any cheaper than running a moderate dose of real growth hormone.
That's not true. That's total bullshit.
It just isn't anymore. We're in a different era, so it doesn't really make sense to do so. And
I don't know where the hell he's getting his growth hormone from, but no. Real growth hormone is a lot more expensive than that SARM.
Unless someone is taking it specifically to increase their appetite. But there's also other peptides that people use for that. Hey Jason, thank you for response to my previous question. This is a continuation of your response to adding Primo or Masteron to your TRT. Do both of these substances have fat burning effects or strictly increase muscle mass, or both? What is the difference between the two? Thank you. The differences between Primo and Masteron are way too much to cover in one of these short Q&As. I've discussed it in a previous gear talk. You'll also find there are plenty of very experienced bodybuilders and coaches right here on YouTube who discuss that in detail, like 20-minute videos to it if you dig around. They're similar, but there are some differences. As far as your other question, all anabolics have the potential to increase fat burning slightly. Okay, so keep that in mind. But what that doesn't mean is that they're just going to make you lean by default, meaning all of them slightly bias your body towards fat burning. More body history, profound. All right. Then we got Buffalo, who's a strong dude. Do you think a lot of younger fake natties nowadays go to the juicing over 40 route of mixing a low to moderate test with DHTs year-round because it's easier to get away with? A lot of naive viewers look at these fake natties and say things like their strength levels stay consistent, so they're clean, or their physiques don't dramatically change to one extreme or the other, so they're obviously not cycling. Is this something that could intentionally have done to have an alibi? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I've said that for years. I've said before.
Blaha usually talks quietly because he has a roommate. So apparently his roommate, who's guilty well, she's on trial for murder right now. Apparently she doesn't like it when he's loud or something. And yeah, he whispers a lot.
I think plenty of the fake natties, the smaller ones, the sub 200 pound guys, they all run a modest amount of test in either Primo or Anavar or Masteron. I've said that years ago because that's pretty normal for exactly the reasons you described, right? They stay lean, they look good as a result of it, and they don't see ever dramatic changes because they're not running anything that makes them gain water. Now, some of the fake natties boof up, and it's comical when people say, oh, they're clearly not using, when they really boof up, and you can tell when they threw a bunch of debowler down.
It actually surprised me. Christian Guzman is on steroids now.